Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at an awesome little stove that I think has a place in your preps. This is the Coleman Exponent multi-fuel stove. Alright everybody, welcome back. So a while back I ended up with one of these Coleman Exponent multi-fuel stoves, and honestly, to me, it kind of looks like the military version of the civilian version of the military Peak 1 stove that I picked up a while back. You can see it's got a national stock number on it. The only difference is it doesn't come with a little bag that this one came in, and it doesn't come in the plain brown box like this. It comes in a more consumer-friendly box, I guess you could say, if you like snakes. And this thing works very, very well. I'm really impressed with it. The reason I'm saying I think it has a place in your preps is because if you have to cook food, boil water, whatever you got to do, you need fuel. And after a while, you may run out of your isobutane cans or your propane or whatever, but this thing will run on pretty much anything. It runs on kerosene, gasoline, diesel, and, of course, regular Coleman white gas, which we're going to be using today, the Coleman fuel. Okay, that's what we're using today. So having something like that can run on a bunch of different stuff is really, really handy. And that's some of the reason why I'm bringing it to you today. Now, there's no link for this. There's not going to be a link down below, because I don't think it's for sale anymore. These are generally something you'll pick up at a garage sale, maybe at a surplus store. You know, they're hard to find. And usually when you do find them, the price is around $60 to $98. I've seen some for as high as $140 on eBay. So you can see this one barely had any use, other than, you know, my firing it up a few times to test it and boil some water with it. And I just wanted to really give you a look at it today. So it's a pretty simple stove to use, and it's not lightweight, but here's the difference. If you take a tiny little stove and you need a bunch of big heavy isobutane canisters to go with it, kind of, you know, you're kind of taking up more bulk. Whereas something like this with the folding legs, you know, you put that in your gear, and it's definitely a small little way to get around. It's very, very simple to set up and use. You're going to fold these legs out and kind of, there's a ring around the bottom here, a plastic ring. And it'll get wider in some areas and shorter in others. I don't know if I have it perfectly level here. But that's to level it out on things. So if you find one area that's a little low, you can put the thicker part of the ring behind there and lift it up a little bit. And that's kind of a handy feature. But the biggest thing is the fact that, you know, all the fuels for this are pretty much widely available. I mean, if worse came to worse, you could siphon some gas out of your car and run this thing. So it would work. They say to use unleaded gas. I don't know where you could buy leaded gas these days anyway. So it's a pretty wide range of stuff available to cook food with. So that's why I like that part for the prepper end of things. This stove has a nice built-in heat shield ring. Okay, it keeps heating more even when the flame is going, even with wind picking up a little. And that's something to consideration here, because we do have our windy days here. You can fill up the integrated tank here, and you're good for a weekend pretty much. I mean, if you're not cooking long meals, we'll get into burn times at the end, but if you're not cooking, you know, big, long, extended meals, something like that can last you an entire weekend, no problem at all. Got very precise flame control. This can simmer. Something I found with the other one that I was showing you is it doesn't simmer as well. It's either blowtorch or very, very low or almost going out. This thing can simmer. And both of those were brand new when I got them. So there's nothing wrong with them. That one hadn't even been burned. Okay, so I'm the only owner of this thing that's ever used it. So this can simmer nice and low. Gets really, really hot. And there's no need for an extra fuel bottle if you're going to be filling this thing up. And I don't have this full all the way, but you can fill these up pretty high, and they will last a good long time. Now, the kerosene part of this, okay, it's a little bit less powerful with kerosene, but if you're going to use this with kerosene, you have to change the little unit there, the little generator. It comes with one specifically for that. Very simple to do. You're simply going to unscrew it here on the side there. Unscrew that with your hand, pull it out, pull it through, put the kerosene generator in there. I have not done it with kerosene yet. Right now we're just using, like I showed you, the Coleman gas. So maybe we'll try that out in a later video. But for now, I'm just going to deal with that. Now, one of the nice things about this, if you ever had stoves similar to this, okay, and you fire them up and you got to prime them and all that stuff, and, you know, to get the generator hot, this one doesn't really require that. You can tell this is cold. I have not fired this up, so it's not like I'm giving it a head start or anything. All you really have to do with this is simply light it. Simply pump it, open it up, light it, and you're going to keep it on low. The weird part about this is it starts on high. Here's off, then you go to high, and then you go to low. So you're going to want to keep it in between somewhere like that, between low and medium, till it starts to take. You'll see it'll kind of flame up a little bit, and it'll be yellow flame. It won't be that nice blue flame. After about a minute or less, it will settle down, and this thing goes right down into a nice, concise, clear blue flame. Very, very hot. This whole thing can hold about 10 ounces of fuel. The output on high, is 7,500 BTUs. Burn time simmer is 7 hours. Burn time on high is 1 hour and 23 minutes. They say the boil time is for 1 quart of water at 70 degrees with a covered pot, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, on kerosene, it's a little less BTUs. It's about 1,000 less BTUs, 6,500. Your burn time, however, on simmer is 9 hours, and your burn time on high is 1 hour and 34 minutes. Again, pretty close to the same boil times for the quart of water. So, we're going to give you the quick lighting instructions here. Then we're going to light it up, and we're going to boil 2 cups of water and see how quickly it does. First thing I'm going to do is make sure this is off. Make sure this is sealed, because I did let the pressure out of it a little bit, and I've had it sitting here since last night. I do like the cap on here. If you notice, it's a little annoying at first because it won't roll with it. It kind of twists up. But after you've used this a few times, it's very, very handy. This thing will not get lost, because you could see yourself losing that thing somewhere. Now what you're going to do is open this up one turn, okay? And you're just going to pump it about 25 times. One, 22, 23, 24, 25. Probably heard me counting under my breath. Okay? Let's move the box out of the way so we don't have to worry about that. And because we're going to be boiling water, I don't want the reflective heat to melt my plastic here, so I'm going to put that down. And something else we're going to do, you guys might remember I bought a carbon monoxide detector off of Banggood. Actually, it's an air quality detector, but it has carbon monoxide detection in it. I want to see how much of a threat this is to burning indoors. I have about a 700 square foot, 800 square foot garage here where my YouTube studio is here. And I have nothing open right now. I don't have any doors open. So we're going to see about how much the normal background carbon monoxide is about 9, 6. It was up to 12 before. It all depends on where you're moving around it, what's in the air. Something I did notice too is when filling this up, the carbon monoxide detector went nuts. It went like up to 600. So a good idea not to breathe that stuff in. So we're going to open it up a little bit. Okay. There you go. Now what you want to do, you'll notice the flame flaring up a little bit. This is very controlled though. It doesn't get too crazy. And please, if you're using this indoors, make sure you do have a fire extinguisher nearby. It's not really a fire hazard, but it's a good idea to have. So you're going to notice it's got to heat up that generator. And you see how the yellow flames are going away and the nice blue flames are starting up. Once this gets going in full, we'll kick off the lights really quick to show you. I want to see that last little yellow flame go out there, and there we go. So let's turn it up. And that's one of the nicest things about this. And you'll see it flare a little bit, because it's still warming up. But you see how quickly that lit? And you saw this was not hot. I was touching it before I started. Let me move you in and turn off the top light really quick. I'll let you see that flame. Nice blue flame. And once that gets totally warmed up, you won't see those little flares like that. It does flare up from time to time when you're doing that. Now, over here you see our carbon monoxide level went up to about 51, 52. Again, this is a well-ventilated garage. It's not really a danger, honestly. It's not like I'm doing something risky and daredevil, But I just wanted to see how high the levels get. Of course, I have doors on both sides of the garage. I could easily open it up and vent it. But we'll try that out and see. What I'm going to do is fill up 2 cups of water. We're going to put it on here. I'm going to let it burn for a minute, and then we're going to put it on here and try it out. All right, so just as a little bit of a control, what I did was I opened the side door here. And immediately my carbon monoxide levels went down to 0018, so definitely low. With ventilation you'll be fine. We're going to put these 2 cups of water here on here, and I'm going to put a lid on it. We're going to time it and see how long it takes. We have boiling. I'm going to pause it right there. 3 minutes 16 seconds. that off. Do it this way. Now we'll just pull it off that way. I got my gloves on. As you can tell, that is boiling. Okay. Turn it off. You know, CO 0015, 0013, and that's kind of where it stayed. So with adequate ventilation, again, I did open the side door. With a little bit of ventilation, you're going to be just fine with this thing. No problems at all. Definitely an impressive little stove. It's not going to win any speed contests. You know, it's not a super fast stove, but it's reliable, and it will last you a lifetime as long as you take care of it. There are parts all over both Amazon and eBay to replace. If you find one that looks like it might need a new generator or maybe some work on the inside on the burner itself, all in all, it's an awesome little stove for the money. I want to burn my gloves. And I'm really impressed with it. Now, the pros to me are it's easy to use, takes gasoline, takes a bunch of different fuels. It's got that gas cap lanyard. I love that lanyard on there because I have another one that's a cheap Chinese knockoff of these type of stoves that doesn't have it, and I have dropped it and has rolled away from me when I'm cooking stuff, and it's like, you know, when I'm trying to get it set up to cook stuff, and it's annoying. You know, you could lose it very easily, especially in deep woods or lots of leaves or something, so I like that. It's got a really nice heat shield in here, so any kind of wind or anything, it's not only shielded on the inside, but it's also shielded out here and this as well. So that flame won't be affected too much by, say, heavy-duty wind or anything like that. And we have that out here, so that's a consideration for me. My only con on this is it's a little bit on the heavy side. You know, it's not horrible, but it is a little bit on the heavy side. And, you know, we're used to these super ultra-light stoves, so it is a little bit heavy, but not horribly overdone. It's really not all that bad. I believe the weight they give is 1.35 pounds, so basically a pound. The dimensions on it are 7.5 by 5.2 by 5.2, and the weight on it we said was 1.35 pounds. Not horrible all in all. So that is the Coleman Exponent multi-fuel stove. The reason I do these videos, even for stuff that isn't available anymore, you may run across this in a barter situation. You may find it while scavenging after some kind of major disaster, and being able to see this and remember, oh yeah, I watched that video and he said pump it up 25 times and then light it. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you really need in the back of your mind for prepping for, you know, any kind of emergency where you might want to remember how to use something that you found that you may look at it and go, oh, how do I light that? You know, you don't know offhand. So it's definitely a neat little system. Like I said, you can find them used from about $60 to about $99. I was looking around on Amazon. I saw a couple that were $100 something. Maybe a bidding war took over on them, but generally you'll find them in that range. If I remember correctly, I paid $40 for this, so definitely money well spent. Now I have to decide because, you know, honestly, I think this one performs a whole lot better than my military Peak one. I have to decide if I want to keep that one or not. I have a lot of stoves, guys, so you know, for me to get rid of one wouldn't hurt. But all in all, I really like it. So that is the, there's no link for it, like I said. The only link on Amazon is out of stock, and they don't know when it's coming back. So I don't want to put an out-of-stock link up there to start you guys off with. That wouldn't be very fun. So that's the only link out there that's on Amazon. I did see a couple of them for sale on eBay. You can look around online. Sometimes some of the offer-up sites have it, and Craigslist or whatever, but you'll find them online. Generally, you'll find them easy. That's really the only difference. This one, you know, this one came with a little nice little nesting kind of thing, and this one didn't. That's about it. You know, it had a nice little insulated holder. So all in all, I'm pleased with it. I think it's going to be more in rotation in the channel because I like the fact that it's so easy to use and light. And I like the fact that it simmers really low. You saw when we started it how low that was simmering. You can cook, you know, a little bit more finer on something like that than, say, a blowtorch. So definitely like it. So that is a Coleman Exponent multi-fuel stove. No link for that down below, but do remember to check out all our links down below. We have our freeze-dry wholesalers link. If you want to get stocked up, and I'm telling you, by the looks of the stores, if you looked around at other prepper channels, you're starting to see empty shelves. I'm going to be checking mine out. I'll take you along with me. But we definitely are seeing some shortages, and now's the time to start stocking up. And using my link for freeze-dried wholesalers, you're going to save 15%. I really like their food. As you can tell, I've cooked a lot of stuff for them. Don't forget to check out our Amazon affiliate store. Pretty much, with the exception of that, because it's out of stock. Everything I review, I try to find on Amazon, so you can check it out. Maybe get specs I might have forgotten or something. And also, if you're interested in buying it, you can check it out there. We also have on My Patriot Supply, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Awesome bulk food options there to get started on your stocking up. I like to add stuff to it myself personally. You know, like I like the creamy Alfredo, and I'll throw a can of chicken in it. I love the stuff. It's really good. We've tested it on the channel a lot, so check it out. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried store as well. You can check out the food there. It's really good, clean food. And it's another way to get stocked up. If you can't afford any of that, by all means, get to your stores and start stocking up because the shortages are definitely here. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.